Howdy, this is my new Minecraft Filtered Seed Glitchless personal best of 13 minutes and 51 seconds. I'm really freaking happy with this run. It's both my first sub 15 and sub 14, and I believe it's my fastest blind travel I've ever had. There's still a lot of problems with this run, and throughout the run there's 2 to 3 minutes of overall time loss, so hopefully I can get a faster run in the future, but for now I'm switching over full time to random seed glitchless instead, to try to actually take advantage of all the practice I've gotten from doing these FSG runs. That was always pretty much my long-term goal, was to be able to get sub 15, sub 20 runs in FSG pretty consistently, so that then I could go into RSG, and whenever I finally get actually good luck, I'd be able to take advantage of it. But anyways, enjoy the video. I'll just pop in every once in a while to talk about what's going on in the run. For this run, I used the newest version of the FSG seed filter, which guarantees you a looting gold sword in the ruined portal chest. However, what's interesting is it only guarantees you 1 iron worth of nuggets, which sometimes won't be enough to enter if you low roll on iron from the golem. However, on this particular run, I actually got 3 iron worth of nuggets, which is pretty rare. Didn't check the enchantment when I grabbed it, but this gold shovel is actually efficiency 3, which means it can insta-mine dirt, and I use this to my advantage to get some building blocks for later in the run. Normally I would try to get all of my beds ahead of time from the village, but on this particular run I decided to instead rely on string trades from the bastion, because string can be crafted into wool to make beds instead. This saves quite a bit of time because I'm going to get those string trades anyways, and I don't have to waste a bunch of time hunting down every single bed in the village. Coming up here is one of the first major time losses of the run, because I somehow forgot that I got a flint and steel from the ruined portal chest, so I stopped crafting my shield and boat, and instead go and hunt down some flint so I can make a flint and steel. I can't even understand how I just forgot that I got one, partially because the seed filter guarantees that you get some way to light your portal, and this ends up wasting an entire minute. My movement to get to the gold block over here is pretty terrible, so that's another 5 to 10 seconds worth of time waste. I lose a fair amount of time here in my crafting just because of lag, because when I'm trying to drag my items through the crafting table, it just slows down and skips slots. It kind of sucks, but it's also completely out of my control, so what can you do about it? I'm able to recognize this bastion pretty quickly as a housing bastion, and I decided to go for the top-down route rather than manhunt, which I think is actually kind of risky because I had literally just taught myself the route earlier that same day, but it ends up working out pretty well, and that paired with the fact that housing is already the fastest bastion type, I end up being able to get out of there pretty quickly. I do decide to use the slightly safer variant of the manhunt and top-down route, both do the same thing, where I go into that little hole and dig across to the gold blocks rather than digging straight into them. I do this because I'm just not fully comfortable with the route. Again, I taught myself it earlier that same day, so I'm just not chancing there being piglins directly behind me that I don't notice. I actually have almost everything I need to exit at this point, but I'm sitting on only one pearl trade. I do get a second one pretty quickly after I use the gravel strats to jump in the hole with them, but I still have only 9 pearls, which is not enough to enter the end. What I don't realize is while I'm managing my inventory here, they actually totally run out of gold, so I need to pretty quickly find some more or I'm just not going to be able to finish this run. Once I realize they're out of gold, I react pretty quickly and I head over to this chest here to get some more gold. I actually grabbed the obsidian and crying obsidian first, which was pretty dumb because I already had all the obsidian I needed. The odds are against me here trading only 6 gold since the average pearl rate is 11 gold per pearl trade, but the fact that you're watching this run should tell you how that goes. So I'm exiting the bastion at about 7 minutes and 40 seconds. I don't know where the fortress is yet, but I do know that it's in one of the quadrants directly next to the bastion quadrant. So I decide to just go to this relatively flat area and I see it almost immediately. I hesitate for a second here, I guess, on how to get up into the fortress, but it should have been pretty obvious that I needed to just grab a pearl and head up there. Right here is why the looting sword version of the seed filter is really overpowered. I get all 6 blaze rods that I need just from these first 2 blazes. I should have exited here, but I instead try to go for this other blaze here, which is flying over a giant cliff, which means I have to bridge under it to get the rods, and I just end up, like, messing around and screwing up everything, so I probably waste another good minute here, which means, if you're keeping track, that's about 2.5 minutes of time lost by the time I'm ready to exit the nether. So there's my last blaze rod, and I'm ready to start heading to the good blind coordinates. The reason I stopped for a second here is because I'm trying to start crafting a golden pickaxe, because that would allow me to insta-mine through this netherrack to get to the coordinates I'm trying to go to a lot quicker, but I instead decided to just keep digging with the iron pickaxe because I don't have any gold. I also run into this ancient debris here, just by sheer luck, so that's interesting, I guess. I do unfortunately blind travel into a cave here, which means I'm gonna have to dig up, but whenever I do go to dig, it turns out I'm right under an underwater ravine. But the only problem is there is no outlet into the ocean above, so I need to find a place to continue digging up. If you look in the top right, you'll see that that exit nether split is actually a gold split, which means it's the fastest I've ever gone from entering to exiting the nether. And if you compare the times, 9-minute exit and 4-minute entry, that's actually a 5-minute nether, which is pretty freaking good. I see the stronghold pretty much immediately, but there is no exposed portal room. I still do head for this light source over here, which I think could be the portal room, but it isn't. So I have to do normal stronghold now to figure out where it is. Four creepers, monka S. The reason I know that there's a secret door through this wall is because there was no backwards door in that room. Every room has to have a backwards door. A backwards door is like that you just saw, where it just isn't flush with the wall. That tells me that there has to be something there since there's no backwards door anywhere else. I follow very standard stronghold navigation going down the middle here, which luckily leads me directly to the portal room, which is pretty much best case scenario, but I do miss my jump there, which wastes a little bit of time, especially after the silverfish jumps in after me. And there's my end entry with 12 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock, which is the fastest I've ever been in the end.
Crafting. Narrator off.
Everything here is very standard. I set up for the 1 cycle and everything, and then I run over here to craft up my beds out of the string trades I got in the Bastion. The only problem I have right now is I hadn't warmed up or done any 1 cycle practice this entire day, because I took this day to practice my Bastions instead, which ended up kind of almost costing me this run, because I almost choked the 1 cycle. You'll see what I'm talking about. So there's the perch, but it's a pretty low perch and I kind of whiff my pearl, so I'm panicking when I get there and my first bet is really weak. The rest of them are solid, but this last one I really should have double betted, but I instead wait for it to spin way around, so some obvious time saved there, and it's far from the cleanest 1 cycle I've ever done. But I still finished out the run with a final time of 13 minutes and 51 seconds, which at the time of recording is good for 10th place on the leaderboards. Unfortunately, there's actually a chance this isn't verifiable because I pre-generated the seed a little bit in advance, since the looting sword version of the seed filter is really slow. So I basically ran it and then just did something else while I waited and then checked back on it later. That, paired with the fact that I wasn't recording my browser on this particular occasion, makes it look a little sketchy, and there's a chance that this won't end up on the leaderboards. But for me, this is still my PB. Anyways, if you're wondering how I was feeling at the time of the run, here's my live reaction. I think my microphone's on right now. I'm in freaking shock, dude. I was not expecting this. This is like my third run today. This is ridiculous. I have no words. Oh my gosh. Live stream's coming soon, I guess. I'm just gonna let the voiceover do the talking now. I have no words right now. Joke's on him, I already did the talking. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as I said in my live reaction, live streams are coming soon. If all goes according to plan, I should be live right around when this video comes out, so come check me out. I'll have a link to my Twitch in the description, twitch.tv/flawlessdiamond04, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.